Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Faith, and today I am showing you how to get a Victoria's Secret model makeup look. I recently posted a photo on my Instagram of basically this exact look, and when I was doing the makeup look, I didn't even really know what I was going for, but once I finished, I was like, that totally looks like a Victoria's Secret model type look, like that super natural skin, nude lip, and I figured with the show going to air, I think it's Tuesday, so tomorrow, since this video is going up Monday, I figured it would be a perfect time to do a Victoria's Secret fashion show, makeup look sort of deal. So if you want to see how to achieve this makeup look, then just keep watching. The first thing I'm going to do is fill in my brows. I am using, as always, the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. I'm using the shade dark brown or dark brunette. And I know I had mentioned, I think in my last video, how this was kind of turning up gray on me, like almost black. I noticed that when I do this without foundation on, it shows up a better color. So I don't know if it was just mixing with my foundation weird and looking gray or black, but I've liked this a lot better when I apply it first thing. And also I've been applying them a little bit more natural, like more just natural strokes. I think this is definitely the Victoria's Secret model look as well. They're definitely natural brows. They're not like super filled in blocky brows. You see the individual hairs, so I want to make sure that I do that today. I do want to create a little bit of an arch because I find that that kind of looks more sexy or sultry and goes along better with the theme for today. So I just kind of start at the top and create an arch, and I'm using a very, very light hand. You see here in the front, I'm just kind of flicking up, creating little hairs going up, and if I mess up at all, I just use a spoolie to get rid of some of that product. And that's basically it for the brow, so I'm going to do the other one quick and jump right back on camera. Okay, next I'm going to set the brows with a brow gel, and I'm using the Glossier Boy Brow in clear. And this just really keeps the brows in place. It does kind of make them look a little more bushy, and kind of separates the hairs so that you can see all of the individual hair strokes. I also like that it applies on white and dries clear. That way when you're applying it, you can really see where you're putting it. Next, this is gonna sound super random. I have never done my makeup this way, and I have no idea why I did it the way I did it the day I took that picture, but I put on lashes next. I know, it was so random. I don't know what I was doing, but I actually liked how it turned out. I really didn't do any eyeshadow. I just put the lashes on and then smudged out the lash line, so that's what I'm going to do. I used these lashes here. These are the Ardell Double Up Demi Wispies. These are my new favorite lash. They are just like the regular Demi Wispies, but they're doubled, so they're thicker. I love that they're shorter towards the front of your lash line, kind of towards the tear duct, and then they kind of wing out. They give you a natural cat eye look. I still want to do the video I mentioned, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, where I talk about applying false lashes, like get really, really in depth, and also maybe talk a little bit about different styles of lash and what type is the most flattering on each eye shape. I think that that would be a helpful video, so I still do have that on my radar. If you are dying to see that, let me know and I'll make sure to film it quickly here. I do have a list of different videos I want to film before the year is up. I can't believe it's almost 2018, so I'm coming up on my 1 year mark of doing YouTube, which is absolutely crazy. Okay, lashes are on. I just love how they transform your eyes. Like, they are so, so gorgeous. So while those set in a little bit, they're still drying. I can kind of feel that they're wet a little bit. I am going to do some spot concealing. So I actually really like this concealer. This is the Stila Foundation and Concealer. So it's a foundation here. I'm not even going to use this. I didn't use foundation at all. I just concealed any spots I had and then used some concealer underneath the eyes. So that's what I'm going to do today. If you want to use foundation, go for it. But I used this pot concealer from Stila, and this is the shade Light 3. I really, really like this. You can buy the concealer separate. I actually like the concealer more than I like the foundation. The foundation's okay, but I really like this pot concealer. So all I did was I just took my Real Techniques sponge, kind of dunked it right in there, and just spot concealed and placed it over any blemishes that I had. I don't know why, but I'm breaking out so much on my chin right now. Okay, the lashes feel dry. So before we do the rest of the concealer, I'm just gonna take a little bit of mascara. You can take any mascara you want. I'm just using the Tarte Maneater. I thought that the name of this mascara was perfect for this video. And I'm just gonna take this on my top lashes to blend in my natural lashes with the falsies. I'm not going to be putting any mascara on the lower lash line because I just think this looks a lot more like natural and like va-va-voom, but natural, you know. Next, to smudge out the lash band area, just to conceal that a little bit more, I'm using the Tartelette in Bloom palette, and I'm using this shade here. It's a really, really dark brown shade. It's called Activist. You can use any matte brown shade, but this is my favorite one for doing this trick. And I'm just taking a very tapered eyeshadow brush and just gonna take this right here along the lash band. And it's literally that simple. That is all I'm doing on the eyes. That's it. Now, let's move on to the Tarte Shape Tape underneath the eyes. I love this stuff. It brightens, it conceals, it's awesome. I use the shade Light Sand, and I'll put some right here, and then kind of use that to spread down onto this little bit of redness I have on the cheeks. I will also take a line down the center of my nose and then a little on the forehead just to brighten. Normally I would use a dampened Real Techniques sponge to blend this out, but I'm actually going to use a brush today. I find that a brush really, how do I want to say, it almost blends away more product, which I know the whole idea of a beauty sponge is that it sucks up excess product, but for me, when I use a brush, I find that I get an even more natural finish, whereas when I really want high coverage, I'll use my sponge. So I don't want this to look really high coverage, so I'm gonna use this brush to basically buff this into the skin and buff it out and make it look like I'm almost not wearing anything on my face. And this is just a foundation brush, a face brush from Real Techniques. I really, really like it. The Tarte Shape Tape really does not require you to set it with a powder. Normally I do because I have foundation underneath and it can tend to settle into my lines and crease a bit. But I found that when I just put it on bare skin, it really does not budge, so I'm not going to use a powder. That again will ensure a really, really flawless looking face. A face that basically looks like it has nothing on it, just a naturally perfect complexion. Yeah, right. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of contour, nothing too much, because again, we want our face to basically look like that's just our complexion. But I'm going to use this Marc Jacobs, this is actually a powder foundation in the shade Cocoa. I'm using it like a bronzer or contour, and I've really been liking how this works. I'm using this Duo Fiber Face Shading Brush from Delium. This is perfect for really defining the cheekbones without going overboard because it is pretty thin. So I really have been liking this. And I just take a little bit of this powder and just place it right there. And I'm really, really gonna blend this out because I do not want it to be obvious. I want it to look really, really natural. The nice thing about using a powder foundation for this step as well is that it's going to provide coverage for you. This is really, really nice for those days where you don't want to do foundation. If you use a darker shade in a foundation as your bronzer, that will give you coverage in these areas. I'm going to take just a little bit on the sides of the nose here. Then to give us that Victoria's Secret model glow, that bronzed glow, I'm going to use MAC Global Glow. This is one of their mineralized skin finishes. It's so gorgeous. It has a really pretty light gold reflect in it, and it's a great bronzer shade for me. So I take this right over where I contoured, but a little bit bigger, and give yourself a nice bronze. Especially for me, you can kind of probably tell it looks better now on this side, but I did fake tan, and since I don't tan my face tends to be a lot lighter than my body. So since I didn't use foundation to fix that, I kind of need to use this bronzer to tie that in. Next, I'm just going to add a little bit of flush to the cheeks, just the tiniest bit. I find that the Victoria's Secret models really don't have much blush, like just a pinch of color. So I'm going to use this Milani Baked Powder Blush in Luminoso. This is so gorgeous, and it has an amazing sheen to it, so it's going to make our cheeks really glow. But that's basically all I'm going to put on because they do not have a lot. For highlight, I'm going to use a cream highlight and a powder highlight over top. For the cream highlight, I'm using this Palladio I'm Glowing Creamy Stick Luminizer. This stuff is absolutely gorgeous. It's like one of my new favorite highlights. I just take it on my finger and push this onto the high points of the face. This you could just use alone, but I like to top it with a powder as well to give a little more intensity. And I do put a little on the nose, Cupid's bow, and kind of like the temples here almost, right above the brow. Then for the powder highlight, I'm using the Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in Kitten. This is a gorgeous champagne-y pink rose gold, and you can see how absolutely gorgeous that sheen is. It's really an awesome highlight for anyone that has texture because, at least on me, it does not emphasize my texture or my pores. It almost like makes my skin look super soft and velvety, which I really, really like. So I kind of like put this all over. Then last step is lips, and the Victoria's Secret models always rock a nude lip, like always. I mean, maybe there's some looks they do a red lip with, I don't know, but for the most part it's a nude lip. And how I like to achieve a nude lip is actually to just use a lip liner. So I have the NYX Nude Beige Lip Pencil. I love these. These will last so long, and they're so affordable. They're like $1 or maybe a little bit more than that. And I do overdraw my top lip, but then my bottom lip I draw as is. So I just go right above the Cupid's bow there, and then connect back down to the corner. And then I fill in just a little bit with some horizontal strokes. This will make your lips look bigger. Now in the Instagram picture I took, I didn't have a gloss on, I just left it at this, but I did notice in looking at pictures of the fashion show, a lot of them had a glossy lip. So for the purpose of this video, I am going to put a gloss on, and my favorite gloss at the moment is the Glossier lip gloss. It has the most intense shine, and it's so comfortable. It's not sticky at all. So I'm just gonna apply some of this. Ugh, it's like the most wet looking gloss I've ever seen. And just to finish off the face, to make sure the concealer and bronzer and everything stays put, I'm going to use the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray, just a light spritz over the face. And that is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!